Joining us this week is Team Hornaday development driver Luke Morey. Luke is 15 years old, originally from Michigan, now lives in Denver, North Carolina, and he is currently racing in the Pro Late Model in the Cars Tour, sitting in the top 5 in points. He moved to North Carolina after racing in Michigan, and he's run some Bandoleros before moving to the Legend Car Series. Looking forward to this conversation. Glad to have you, Luke. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. So let's jump right into things. And, we kind of mentioned it in the intro, but tell us kind of how you really got involved in racing and caught the bug and started running.
Yeah, we're originally from Michigan, and my dad, he ran dirt modifieds. He ran World of Outlaw, dirt super late models for a while, too. So just a big dirt racer. He ran some sprint car stuff, too. And it was pretty much every Saturday night he would go to the track, and I would go there with him ever since I was like 1 or 2, really. And I was just around racing my whole life. And he ended up making a series whenever I was about 6 or 7. They were called mini wedges. It's basically a go-kart with a cage around it and a full body. They're pretty slow, but just a starter class. And I ended up getting a lot of cars for the first, I think I ran that for about 2 to 3 years, had a lot of success in that. That's really how I got my start. And it was just, I was around racing pretty much my whole life. And my dad got a job opportunity down in North Carolina in Mooresville, so we moved down, and we knew that would only be better for my career. So we moved down and got a Bandolero and started racing in the summer shootout at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which is we race on a small track in the front stretch. I think it's like 8 weeks and 10 races. So ran that for a Bandolero for about 2 to 3 years, I think. I won a lot in those two, had a lot of fun racing those, and we started getting pretty serious about 2 years ago or so. Moved up to a Legend car with Joe Ryan Race Cars, which is one of Hornaday's teams. So ended up racing a Legend car for a year. I think we won about 5 times, and we ran the whole summer shootout too. And just last year, we made the move to the Cars Tour Pro Late Models. We thought it was time to get into a full-body stock car, so ran that last year, and we're still here for this year.
Hey, Luke, with all the ties to dirt racing in your family, what was the decision to start racing on asphalt? I feel like dirt racing would kind of be your specialty if it's in the blood.
Yeah, dirt racing, I've always done a few dirt races here and there. Like I've done a few dirt Legend car races in the past few years, and I want to, if I have an opportunity to go dirt racing, I'll definitely take it. But also if I have an opportunity to go asphalt racing, I'll take it too. It was just, I think whenever we moved down to North Carolina, it's really all asphalt racing. Dirt racing's not as big here as it is up north. So we just started racing in Bandoleros and Legends, and it kind of just stuck to asphalt. But we might still make the change to dirt. I definitely want to go run a little bit in dirt. So yeah, it's pretty early to tell.
With all this running on the dirt, you'll be fine on the asphalt. A lot of other NASCAR drivers that are out there for sure. Out of all the series that you've run, what's your favorite?
Definitely the Cars Tour. It's a really good organized series, especially after, this is the first year, Dale Jr. bought the series, and I think ever since he's been running it, it's been really good. It's been getting a lot of good cars, especially for the late model stock side, but even for the pro late model side, there's a lot of cars coming from all over the country every week to race in the Cars Tour in the Carolinas, so it's really cool. They go to a lot of really cool, unique tracks, like Hickory, and there's other tracks like that. Even North Wilkesboro went to earlier this year. Just a lot of cool tracks with a lot of history. That's definitely my favorite series.
Yeah, you mentioned Dale Jr. and you mentioned North Wilkesboro as somebody who got to attend that weekend down there. Talk to us a little bit about racing at a track like that with so much history. Even, they ran there before you were born, and it was the first time back. But talk to us a little bit about North Wilkesboro. Yeah,
it was really cool. It was a really weird feeling rolling into the pits and just seeing Cup Series banners everywhere, and just because we were racing on the week of the Cup cars going there for the All-Star race, so it was just really cool. The atmosphere was just incredible. Just being there, the pits and the infield were just packed. Like it was so tight. It was just so cool. Such a cool experience. That race we ended up having motor trouble, so we didn't make the race, but we did have a provisional to get into the race, and we ended up getting it fixed and just rode around and just really soaked it all in the race. It was just a really good weekend, a lot of fun.
Talk to us a little bit about what it's been like to learn from guys like Ron Hornaday and Austin Terrio.
It's really cool. I try to call them or talk to them as much as possible, just for really any advice, because I have the opportunity to. They've given me a lot of really good advice throughout the years. Ever since I was in Bandoleros, I met Ron Hornaday, so it was just really cool to have him on my side and know that I can always go out and ask him questions if I need to.
I saw you testing with Joey Coulter the other day in a modified. Do you think that's your next step, or are you trying to go right into ARCA trucks?
I didn't test. I wasn't in the seat, unfortunately. He invited me to go out just to watch and just really experience it, because they're racing at Ace Speedway. The Smart Tour is next weekend, so I'll be going there just to watch, and I just got invited out to go check it out and see how those cars are.
You're saying your dad had a job opportunity that moved you down to North Carolina. How much do you miss Michigan?
Yeah, I miss it. Last year, I actually ran, or every single year, I try to go up to Michigan once and just run one race back home at Berlin Raceway. Last year, we ran the Money in the Bank 150 there. I miss it a lot. I'm always in tune with who's running up there and how they're doing. We have a lot of friends up there. Just like the past weekend, we went to the Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora. A lot of the people that we know from Michigan came down for that race, too. It was really cool just being around them. I do miss it a lot.
So you mentioned Michigan and obviously Berlin Raceway as well. Guy who's involved there is Jeff Striegel, but Eric Jones and Brad Keselowski also from Michigan. Tell us a little bit maybe about some of those folks who may influence you or who have gotten you interested in the sport. Are any of those names that may have, some influence?
Yeah, Eric Jones is definitely one of them. He actually signed my mini wedge whenever I used to race with in Michigan a long time ago, and last year I did have the opportunity to race with him at my home track, Berlin, that he signed the car at, so it's pretty cool. It's cool knowing that Canis Hornaday and the whole team Hornaday Development, they all know Eric really well, and we ended up doing a thing with him last year about getting sunscreen out to people at the Coke 600 last year. I got to meet him there, and I'm still keeping in touch with him just throughout all of his races and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
So talk to us a little bit about some of the sponsors and maybe some of the folks who help your racing career progress as we go here. Any sponsors on the car or folks you want to thank?
Yeah, one that definitely catches a lot of people's eyes is Metal Militia and Armed Society. Metal Militia from Brian Deegan owns it. It was really popular about 10, 20 years ago, but he's trying to get it back started up the company again, get it growing more. So he decided to come on board for this season. He also has his other company, Armed Society, which is a rifle company that's on the car too. That's definitely one. And Delk Equipment is another big one. That's Mike Marler. He runs World of Outlaw late models on dirt. It's his company. So, yeah, I'm really grateful to have all these big names on the car.
Luke, being such a young kid, is when you meet Ron Hornaday, is he scouting these younger series? Is he going out to local racetracks for kids under 12 or under 10 trying to find the next big talent, or is it more of an organic meeting?
I'm not too sure. I know that he definitely pays attention to a lot of it. He keeps in tune with a lot of even the car store races, he keeps in tune with a lot of them. But with the drivers that are on Team Hornaday Development right now, he keeps in touch with all of us really well. We talk to him a lot, all the drivers do, and it's just us right now. I'm not too sure if there's any more that I know of, but right now he does pay a lot of attention to everybody.
So we've been speaking here today with Team Hornaday Development driver Luke Morey in our month-long conversation with lots of Team Hornaday Development drivers. So, Luke, as we wrap up here with you, if people want to learn more about you or follow your career along, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and on Twitter. It's all Luke Morey Racing. You can follow me on there. I'm posting a lot of content. Just keeping up with my whole life and my career.